Welcome to the Childish Grown-Up Show, where we treat each episode like your movie theater experience. We catch up with one another, play some games, talk previews, and before you know it, it's time for the feature presentation. So sit tight and enjoy this ride of nostalgia on the Childish Grown-Up Show.
Welcome back to another episode of the Childish Grown-Up Show. If you're hearing my voice right now, y'all know me as one of three of the hosts of this show, Maurice Hunter III, aka Mo. I'm here with Ash Bash, Mia B. Ladies, how y'all feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
I'm surviving.
Saying surviving with a smile on your face is we gotta talk off air, dog. I'm just playing. Nah, no doubt. It's your second favorite day of the week, Friday. Well, at least in podcast land. And we do what we always do. We do our TGIF episodes where we bottle a themed episode, and it kind of helps us restart our next rotation and theme of films. And it's something we really enjoy doing. People tend to enjoy it too, just to kind of pick at our brains. We pick at each other's brains and get really creative with not only the themes, but the actual details of the theme when we have to actually take notes for it. So this is a very exciting episode, as most of these are. And not only that, but we are getting into a season where Mia B is one of her favorite seasons. You know, so we run into that, and then of course we get into, you know, Ash and mine favorite seasons coming up. You know, it's getting dark outside. Obviously, when you're getting up going to work, it's dark still. It's getting darker a little earlier, so we're definitely getting into the spooky season, scary hours. So with that being said, before we get into our theme, because like I said, we don't do any notes, we don't do any emails or check in on the Stoop kids. We kind of take a break to just kind of be in the present moment. So before we do that, obviously you can read the title of this episode, 9 films that we basically converted into horror films. So we have no idea. We did not have prior conversation at all. No hints, no tips, no nothing. But before we get into that, I wanted to get into what was our last rotation we just did. Okay, so we did our dealer's choice. So how did y'all feel about the round of films that we did? We did The Good Son, House Guest, and Crooklyn. How did y'all feel about that rotation?
Pretty good about it. I think we all picked movies that none of us expected each other to pick.
Yeah.
Definitely House Guest was I haven't seen that in 100 years, so I would have never even thought to pick that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I know y'all didn't think I would pick The Good Son.
Oh, man.
No. Mia picking Crooklyn is very fitting, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know she was going to drop that on a dealer's choice.
I know, right?
But it was fun, though. I enjoyed all of that. So.
No, I had a good time with it. All very different choices, which I really liked a lot, that we all had a completely different like genre of movie.
Mm-hmm.
The Good Son is like, it's crazy because today is the 32nd anniversary of that movie.
Mm-mm-mm.
Or at filming 32nd anniversary. But which is crazy because it seems like after we did the pod on that, I just started seeing it everywhere. Like everybody talking about it.
Yes.
I was like, I hadn't seen anybody talking about this movie in forever. As soon as we did the pod on it, I'm seeing it everywhere. Like all of a sudden, which is it's just crazy how that works, right? And then the House Guest was like a deep cut. I'm like, I had forgot all about that movie, but it's one of those good, wholesome, fun movies. So that was really fun to talk about. It brought a lot of levity. My choice, of course, that I will fight for.
The classic, man.
It's funny because after, like, I was talking to my cousin And she's like, you should have had a guest host. You should have had somebody else who grew up with the movie talk about it because it's a different experience when you grow up with it,
Mm-hmm.
seeing it, as an adult in the year of our Lord 2025 is a lot different. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'll keep that in mind if I ever go back to a movie that I grew up with that I don't think you guys have seen.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so good to get you guys perspective. It was like eye-opening for me and it was like really interesting because my experience is like growing up with it with the people who grew up with it,
Oh yeah.
not really talking about it with people who hadn't, seen it a million times since they were a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the rotation for me, going to the Crooklyn, yeah. Something that it spawned that I thought about, and I think that we will do this going forward. Um, I think movies that are real personal to us, like super strong connection to it. I think the person that picks it should lead it
Mm.
because like or have a guest. I mean, that's welcome, of course, whatever y'all want to do. But I think you should lead it because there's things about it and places you want to go that you're looking at and you've seen it so much that it's so easy to get into because like 13, obviously you said that was something you grew up on and you leading it, we got to feel out your personality and kind of your upbringing and your friendships and experiences. And I think that that was something I didn't catch at the moment, but it is something that I wish I would have thought about before. Because when it's something that personal like that, I think you can get it off and kind of navigate where you want to go so that nothing's missed or just stuff that may get overlooked in a one-time watch of the film. So it definitely made me think about, because you and your cousin and your mom, so I was like, okay, I think that might be the thing. I'm not gonna say dealer's choice, but just movies that are like really personal, like this is a real personal favorite of mine that then that might be the times that we may take that step. So, but nonetheless, it was enjoyable. And it was a cool watch. Like it was just cool seeing us in that element, black people. So it was cool seeing us in that element. The Good Son is by far the most mind blowing pick that we've had, in my opinion. Like I just never seen that coming. Like it was just, and then I hadn't seen the movie in years. If I even seen it, I think I've seen it because I remember seeing Eva Macaulay Culkin somewhere in my memory. I remember, but seeing that it was such a mind blowing pick and it was a mind blowing watching experience, and I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed our review on it. Like it was just such a, and we kept coming to places where we couldn't make conclusive decisions. Like what do you do with the nephew and the son hanging off the cliff? What do you do when you're the father? You have this opportunity. It was one of those. It was just one of those. You never know what's gonna go in a movie like that. It just you just never know where these reviews gonna go. So I enjoyed that. And House Guest, it was just a silly little movie. You know what I mean? Just a silly little movie that I said, you know what? I know it ain't a lot of depth there, but I just wanted to throw something silly in there to kind of
A
just
palate
kind of
cleanser.
yeah, a little palate cleanser. So enjoyable experience. Excuse me, enjoyable experience for the dealer's choice. And now we're about to get into our more spooky films. And so this is definitely, I mean, this whole thing is new territory, but it is really new territory when we start to get into how to review these, because similar to the superhero rotation, I think we have to really think about the conversational part. What I learned from that, and then we'll get into kind of like our sitcom part of this, but what I've learned from that is like a lot of movies are good to watch, not always good to review. And that's the part where I have to start thinking from a production standpoint. How do we talk about this? So that influenced my pick for sure. But we'll get to that at the end of it. So y'all stay tuned.
I can't
Well, man, yeah,
I was just gonna add that that's the beauty of our podcast, that we don't know what each other is going to pick, and so we get to have that surprise element when we do decide. And so far, Crooklyn and The Good Son, they're actually doing some numbers on YouTube too. I've been keeping an eye out there.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to those. You get such a variety here at the Childish Grown Up Show. That's what we do best. So.
And another thing.
Yeah.
I think that this round will show you guys horror movies have some of the best stories some real thought-provoking stories in horror movies. And I'm going to make it a point to pick one with a really good story that's not just the scary horror, so that you can get a chance to see some of that good storytelling that happens in horror movies.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see what y'all pick. So it's gonna be dope, and that's what I was searching for. Is trying to find that. It's hard to really Google in that term like horror movies with meaning, or it's hard to like So, but with that being said, before we get into one more thing, so sitcoms. We all grew up. This is obviously a nostalgic. It's obviously a nostalgic podcast. So we always like to acknowledge our TV side of this thing. So, Ash, I throw the ball in your court. Matter of fact, I throw it in Mia's court first. When you think Halloween themed sitcom episodes, what's the first one that comes to mind?
Okay, so this is probably an easy pick, but it's the first thing that came to my head. Martin, when he refused to be scared, and like they were trying really hard to get like to scare him.
Oh, in the house, the one in the episode in the house.
And then I had another one, but I won't say it because
the night he came home. That's the episode.
When they said that somebody had died in his apartment.
Yeah, yeah. That
Willigers or something like that.
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, it was. Let's see what it say. That by far one of the scariest scenes is that Tommy scene, bro. Like he had me spooked. He had me shook for real. Like I ain't gonna even front. As a kid, I was shook. I was looking at him different for a little while before he was like regular Tommy Strong. Like, cause I was like, bro, he looking like mad. Like, talk about really getting into it. Like, just look really out of it. Weird, bro. Like, yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up because I was spooked for real. Like, so yeah, that's a good one. The night he came home, that episode, y'all, October 29th, 1992, classic one. Ash.
That's a 92. Yeah. That was the first one that came to my mind as well, the Martin episode, but also the Girlfriends episode. I think that's where Joan had that Halloween party and she was trying to make William believe that his girlfriend was dead. I forget what it was called, but I just remember the way that they set it up was actually pretty good.
The remains of the date.
Okay. Yeah, it was something like William was dating this chick and they were trying to make her like she had died, and he went to the mom's house and she was like, my baby had died, and it was just a whole thing. But I do remember that too. So
that's good. Yeah, that came out October 30th, 2000. It says that Joan plans an elaborate scheme to get revenge on William for the latest in a series of Halloween pranks. And Tony is put off when her date asks her to engage in a threesome with a stuffed animal.
Oh my!
Oh man! Oh, model. So yeah, so that's a good one. For me, I mean, obviously the other Martin one comes to mind, the Boo House or whatever, but the one that gets me in this one for real, like it's still low key scary. It is, and everybody knows this, and I got to bring it up. It's the Family Matters episode, bro. When there was the dummy that was Steve Urkel, called right. Steveville, bro. I'm gonna send y'all a screenshot, bro. This dude, this was nuts. And then they end up having the dummy Carl version, bro. This is low key still scary, bro. Like y'all, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, y'all have got to see this episode. I mean, it's a sitcom, but they really took some real steps to it. But I sent y'all a screenshot in the chat. But like, bro, like this dummy, and his voice wasn't like Steve. It was complete opposite of Steve. He had a deep voice, lightning's happening, all kind of craziness is going on. I say, hey, yo, listen, y'all going crazy on the sitcom scare, bro. Like this is something else, bro. Like, so that episode, Steveville, man, oh man. And Carl's bad. I guess that's what Carl's bad. I guess that's what Carl's bad. I guess. I don't know. That's crazy. Um, just a few other ones to know. Oh, I wanted to ask, the Boy Meets World one. Does that one stand out to you at all? Me, I know you big into that. And then there was Sean.
I don't remember it really.
Okay, I don't
Like,
really.
I would have to look it up. Let me
Mm,
see.
mhm.
One that stands out to me really well, it wasn't scary, it was more so funny, is the Living Single Halloween episode where they were trying to scare Max.
Mm.
That was a good one too.
Ash, any more come to mind for you?
Mm, not that I can think of.
The Fresh Prince one for me too. Um, they were having a dude, he was doing a seance or whatever, and like everybody was like into it and believing the dude, but Will. And Will was like, he's like, man, you're fake. And the dude was kind of like, he was a little zesty. And so he says, nobody calls me the F word. And then he starts saying all of the whatever language to get the house rocking and seance. And then Will is still, after that all happens, Will looks at him and he says, uh, he do some kind of like mama say mama say some kind of thing that's like makes it even funnier because he just don't believe it until and yeah, it was good. Carlton with the green hair, and oh man, it was a good episode, and it's light hearted, but like I said, that Martin and really the Family Matters is it's to actually be honest. Recently, I watched a Halloween episode of the Hughleys, and that was low key. Like
Oh,
they kind of went there with it because they kind of did on. It wasn't quite Exorcist, but it was definitely floating body action. Like it was like, whoa, what is going on? Like it got real for real for real. Like yo, so yeah, the Hughleys. If y'all ain't seen that episode, I just want to pull that up real quick. I'm not like I said, I'm not a big Hughleys fan, but I just decided to be random one day on Netflix. Um, it's called the I believe the Scary Hughley, I guess. So yeah, those are a few of our Halloween episodes. I mean, there's always a whole bunch of them. Friends, a lot of sitcoms. This is a trend back in the day that they would do sweeps week, all that stuff. But yeah, that was just a few to name a few. If y'all want to send us some of your favorite Halloween sitcom episodes, y'all can hit us up, childishgrownups3 at gmail.com, or hit us up on our Instagram, the Childish Grown Up Show, all in one word, no spaces. Or leave a comment on this video. Like we'd love to hear about y'all. How do y'all feel about the spooky season and spooky films in general? So with that being said, I'm gonna do it in a different order. I'm gonna save our honorable mentions at the end if you have them, because I don't want to possibly one of us step on each other's film. Okay, so that's why I said let's just save that at the end. So with that being said, Mia, this is like you are the captain. You're the captain now. So with that being said, you got to lead this thing. So with that being said, how about you start us off with your first film that you have converted into the horror genre? Lay it out for us. What would be the premise if you got another name for it by any means? Take us into your world for your first one.
okay. So I kept the name and I'm gonna start slow, right? So walk with me. So my first one is the 1996 film Matilda. Now,
Ooh.
imagine, right? We have some horror movies that are kind of in that realm already. Like we have Carrie, which is a classic, one of my faves, and where we have, a girl with telekinetic powers. Now, in this case, we already established that Matilda's parents are trash. Like they don't want her, they treat her bad. She learns how to take care of herself at a really young age. And she doesn't really start, she's very smart, but she doesn't start using her actual power until she's about 6.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in my movie, instead of her not like well, she would discover her powers at 6.5, but instead of just showing that she was a really smart baby, we would have moments where she's a baby and maybe she's in her crib and she's crying and nobody's paying her any attention. And then all of a sudden, the TV cracks or something happens, something falls, and it's just very eerie. And they're like, what happened? And it's her doing it unconsciously because she's angry. But
Mm-hmm.
as a baby, she doesn't control her powers. But maybe, something falls and her brother gets hurt and they're like, what's going on? And then they're looking like, but because they don't pay her any attention, they never suspect that it's Matilda causing these weird things to happen in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But then as she gets older, and she starts to discover her powers in the section of the movie where they say, Matilda's dad says, when a person is bad, a person deserves to get punished. And so Matilda takes that as she gets to punish her parents, but instead of it being like funny little pranks, she's doing things to, you know, the bad people that her dad works with and gets the stolen car parts. And there's like accidents where people are getting hurt.
Ooh.
Her dad has like some sort of really tragic accident. The only person who notices is Miss Honey, her teacher, but this time she notices and she's trying to save Matilda from turning into like a murderer
Mm-hmm.
because she sees Matilda trying to use her powers to punish people, but she's trying to like reel her back and be like the one. So she's like the protagonist in the movie. It's kind of like there's a movie where it was like a spin on Superman, like what if Superman came down and
Like a
he didn't
bizarro
turn out to be
Superman.
a hero. He turned out to be like a villain. So kind of in that same framework.
Mm. I like it. Something scary about kids. You know what I mean? When they in the horror films, it's something scary. But for real,
For sure.
like I don't know why kids are so scary when in horror films, but they are scary. That's why The Good Son hits so different. Not a horror film, but still, it's knocking on the door. You know what I mean? So I like that. That man, it's right there too. I didn't think of that. That is right there already. It's the groundwork is laid. So that's excellent. Excellent. Ash, what
That's
about you?
top tier. That's
It is
top
up
tier
there.
right
It's
there.
there. It's definitely there.
And even maybe something with that lunch lady with that chocolate
Hey,
cake, dude.
listen
Like,
to
hey,
me.
See?
that
Creepy.
alone was like,
Creepy. That's on a list too. They talk about creepy scenes in like regular movies. And that's
yeah,
like on that list. Like it's just this weird. It's just weird,
yeah.
bro.
Well, I'm not gonna have such a good, storyline like Mia B, the horror girly that she is. So I tried to think of movies that I did like that were kind of in that realm, and that's kind of how I was coming up with my list. So I went with Jumanji for one,
Mm.
and my mindset for Jumanji was kind of like the escape room. You know what I mean? So you know how
Mm.
they're playing the game, and I haven't seen Jumanji. I know that probably might come up on one of our episodes because I haven't seen it in forever. But I do remember the magical board, and so my mindset is just in the escape room realm. Like they're playing, and it could like as they roll the dice, either something like a psychological thing happens, or it could be like a body
Oh.
transformation, or like creatures somewhere around that realm. I don't know what I would want to happen when they roll the dice and when it lands, and kind of like the escape room where nobody can quit. The only way it ends is obviously people dying.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to get out of it. So more like kind of like a survival type of vibe, all within the realm of the Jumanji magical board game.
I like the way you
Yes.
think.
I like the way you do business.
I appreciate it. I tried my best. I was like, this
Yeah.
could be
Now that
something.
works. That's excellent. That's an excellent spin on it. This whole concept is just an excellent concept. You know what I mean? Goodness gracious. All right. All right. I'm gonna
Put
start
her,
off light then. What you say?
put her in the writing room.
I know, cause I definitely would like to see. I like to see both of these movies.
Appreciate it.
That's stupid. I'm gonna be like with it. I don't think this is gonna be like y'all's, but so I'm going with the Cable Guy.
Okay, which
So
is crazy because that's in that.
yeah, it's like there, but it's like they don't commit. But
Mm-hmm.
in my version of the Cable Guy, which is obviously we love Jim Carrey,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a real stalker movie, but people are dying off one at a time. And instead of him forcing his hand on being in everything, with Steven, and every trying to just be his friend because he hooked up free cable for him. Instead of that, he would take it the wrong way and stuff would be quietly happening, but he would still just appear to be very normal throughout the movie. You're getting scenes where how they show somebody being followed, but you don't see who's following them. You would get a lot of that, like kind of like real. I ain't gonna say Joe Goldberg, but like real like creepy stuff is happening everywhere. People at the architect job, and so it would be something like that where the cable, because even the cover's already there. Like when you look at the cover of the cable, you think he about to be on it. He ain't quite there, but he obviously got an issue. But his issue would be deep, like where he's a cable guy, maybe because he got electrocuted and something affected his brain. Like he was a nice guy at first, and he got a twitch about him. He's like, so you don't want to be my friend after I gave you free cable? No, it's fine, dude. It's fine. And like from that point on, it's up. He's smiling, doing a Jim Carrey laugh and stuff. And then as soon as nobody's around, he go straight grumpy face. And he got his equipment, and he does things with his cable installation equipment like that. Those are his weapons of choice. You know what I mean? So that's how you get people out of there until obviously at the end, the dude gets away. Barely gets away. Like, but it's definitely kind of a psychological slasher film, so to speak. So I think the cable guy it leans on it, but they don't commit to it fully. But I think you can absolutely go there. And Jim Carrey, come on, I mean, I almost picked one of his other movies, you know what I'm saying? But for my movie pick, but I hadn't seen it, and I don't. It was it might have got away from my rules a little bit, so I didn't go for it. But yeah, so that's my first one, the cable guy.
I like it.
Well, now it only gets deeper from here, Jake. Jake.
I like
Okay.
All right, Mia, what you got for your number two?
All right. We're taking it back a little further with this one. I did 1971's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes.
Now, this movie has some parts in it already. And I'm not talking about the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'm talking about
Yeah.
What's his name? Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
1971. Now, this was one of my favorite movies growing up. And, I appreciate a little creepy here and there. But there is something about the concept of these kind of like what Ash was just saying, like escape room as like the only way out is through. So in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, there are already parts where these kids are having all these mishaps with like the candy and the rooms in the chocolate factory because they all have some sort of like they all represent something bad, almost like the seven deadly sins in a way. They all represent like spoiled, rotten, like gluttony with the one boy who is drinking out of the chocolate fountain, and then we have the spoiled brat, what I call my daughter when she's being spoiled, Veruca Salt, and we have the little boy Tommy TV who was obsessed with the TV, then the little girl who was chewing on the gum constantly. Um, and they all have these mishaps. So, like, the first one is with Augustus, and he's drinking out of Willy Wonka's chocolate fountain. He gets knocked in, and he gets sucked up in the tube. So, in the movie, what Willy Wonka says is that he's going to the fudge room. But they don't show it because, of course, they can't, they're not going to show anything bad happening to the kid. But in my horror version, you would see him getting sucked up the tube, going to the fudge room. And, this version of Willy Wonka is kind of like a gory body horror-esque type of scary movie where, you get to see Augustus potentially being turned into fudge. And then you have Tommy TV who gets shrank down into a little miniature size of himself. And then you see the Oompa Loompas trying to kind of like, or you see like they're trying to, change his size and make him bigger, but there's some, it's not made for like a human body. And so the waves that are made to do that, make him like misshapen and like morph him
Deformed.
into something different.
Are the Oompa Loompas evil in this, or are they like trying to warn them?
They're not evil, but they're creepy looking.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't want them to be purposely evil. Willy Wonka is a sinister character
Yes.
who low-key hates kids. And instead of Charlie inheriting it from him in the friendly way that he gave it to him, he defeats Willy Wonka, who is the master puppeteer of all this gore and horror happening to these kids. And then he just takes the chocolate factory.
Yeah. No. It always has felt that way. I mean, people have done theories on like Willy Wonka, like being like this villainous. Like people have done this, and it's always felt that way. Just from his introduction, when he rolls into there like that, you know what I mean? And then he's like losing his cool, like going off crazy with that hair. Like he looks like a madman. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like he really looks like a madman. So Willy Wonka goes bonkers. You know what I'm saying? So I like it.
I like it too. He always looked crazy to me anyway. Like
Yes.
that's an easy flip. So,
Yeah.
that's super good.
No method acting needed. All right, Ash, what's your number 2?
All right, number 2, I'm going with Mean Girls. I feel like this is an easy one that you could flip, because I'm either thinking a little bit of Jennifer's Body or The Faculty, right? Because it has that high school setting. I love how excited Mia is for this episode.
This is her bag right now, bro.
I've never seen you smile so much. She loves it.
Boy.
It's crazy. But yeah, so kind of like initially I was thinking Jennifer's Body, but then I'm like, it could be The Faculty too. Y'all seen Jennifer's Body? I know me.
I haven't, but I do remember.
Love Jennifer's Body.
It's crazy. When I watched it, I didn't even know it was going to take that complete dark turn. And so that's what blew me. But I wasn't. But yeah, so because Mean Girls already has that manipulation and that psychological edge to it. So something maybe with the plastics, if we take the Faculty route, maybe Regina George is like that alien character, and like if she can turn the other kids into a plastic, then maybe they'll all start like they'll all be thinking the same and like dressing and talking just like her as they recruit them in some way.
Oh, see, now you got my wheels turning. Okay. But it can even go like the craft route where the plastics are like a
Burn book
witch
too.
oven.
Cooking.
That high school setting really can open up
Yeah.
a movie to go any type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Like anytime you got friend groups,
Yep.
and you have one that feels left out or anything,
Mm-hmm.
there's some
That-
tension,
Tension. Yep.
can turn into either a slasher film or you know what I mean. So
Yeah, no doubt. Excellent, man. This is fun because it's like, bro, we genuinely have no idea, so we have no idea where you're coming from. That's why it's just like everything was being said. I'm just amazed. I feel like me on the inside. Like I'm like, bro, this is amazing. This is right there next to our last TGIF. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it is.
For me, my second one, kind of go with a little bit more representation on this one. So it's a movie people don't think about a lot. I'm going with The Sixth Man.
Really?
This is kind of a ghost possession type of movie. The brothers, in this movie, of course, they love each other, and he ended up losing his brother to an injury he dies after having a heart attack, was it? Like
Yeah, he had
I think he had a heart attack. He ends up dying. But in my movie, the two brothers were at odds already. So the two brothers are at odds, but they still tolerated each other. And same thing happens. He dies, but he's also still in the picture as a ghost. But what he does is he haunts his brother, and he kind of possesses his brother to do evil things. So there's this whole back and forth of him not being able to control himself because his brother is controlling him. Like, and it probably won't be like the darkest of horror films, but it would be a horror film where there are dark moments because people will get taken out of here, you know. But then there, like, so I'm trying to think about it. Like, I'm trying to think about something where it's not coming to mind, but it's like when you see somebody that has they do something and then they forget. I guess, okay, so I'll just use, yeah, like kind of like Twin Peaks, right? Not like the whole show Twin Peaks. This is a deep cut for some people that like, they're like, wow, you know what that is? But for like Twin Peaks, so the father on Twin Peaks, spoiler alert, this show super old, came out in 1990. But spoiler alert, the father is the one that killed the daughter, but he gets possessed by this spirit named Bob. And so he genuinely doesn't recall doing the things he does. So this would be Marlon's character. He would not recall doing the things that he's doing, and he's taking people out one by one. But I don't know how he's going to get the brother out of him or whatever the case is. I don't know exactly how that will go, but it is definitely going to be like a back and forth where he's doing terrible things. So it would be kind of like a ghost possession type of film. But the concept to me it really, really works for something like this movie that's already kind of funny and got some heartfelt moments. But I think like, especially with how Marlon, you know, this would gave Marlon his first real, before we get to like the hymns of the world, and you know, I mean, he's done stuff before, but this gives him that first like, wow, he's like really menacing and charming at the same time because of, you know, and then Kadeem Hardison as well, like getting to see him really be villainous like that and believe it, you know. So I think this would have been a great chance for them to do something like that. So yeah, Sixth Man. Plus, come on, I mean, it's kind of already in the title, Sixth. You know what I mean? There it is. So
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like you guys are doing your thing here.
Wow. Right, stretch me on this one, boy.
Hey, for real, that's why I only kept it to 3. I kept it to 3. You know what I
mean? Y'all are making Mama proud.
Will you mold me? Will you ma'am? Will you mold me, ma'am?
Oh my goodness, y'all are crazy.
Oh man, that's hilarious. All right, what you got for your third will be?
Okay, last but not least, I chose the 1989 film Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Ooh.
Walk with me, right? So this is real cutesy, real like wholesome. However, think Jurassic Park only. They're shrank down, right? But they're lost in the yard. Everyday things, ants, spiders, you know, animals are now like after them, hunting them. They have to watch out for, you know, lawnmowers, and they're getting taken out by these everyday things, or these things that are typically so small. Like you would like imagine early in the movie, somebody steps on a spider because they're not thinking about it, but then they're shrank down and then now they're being chased by a spider. And you know, they're hiding behind like the grass, trying to, and you see the eyes of the spider and the little things coming around the corner. And you have like these, you know, these tiny things that typically wouldn't be scary, but now they are because they're bigger than you. And you're usually, you know, at the top of the food chain, but now you're knocked to the bottom and you have to survive and make it back into the house from outside while you're, you know, teeny tiny, and try to get back to be saved. But like, you know, everybody can't make it.
Oh no, you go not the family though. It's funny you say that because
the neighbor kids were with them. Your kids are expendable. Yeah.
Right. Hey, it's funny because there's like one moment in that movie where they kind of allude to like the stakes. So it kind of, I could see that idea being brought to life because there's like, I don't remember what it was like. Not just like the jumping across. It was something. Was it an ant? Well, I don't remember what was in the movie. It's been a while, but
I think somebody was riding an ant at some point.
okay. But that was like something they were scared of when they were tiny, and it's like you thought about like, whoa, this is a huge deal. And like I could see your whole vision coming to life on like, yo, this is like being in the grass, bro, being in the yard. Come on, bro. Like that would be the scary. Like it would be days before you get to the house, bro.
Exactly.
Man, that'd be brilliant. I would watch that, and plus, I love that type of adventure too. So, ooh, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. All right, Ash, what you got for number 3?
Coming in at number 3, low hanging fruit on this one. I went Toy Story,
Okay.
and my mindset is child's play. Chucky. So pretty much the toys that are forgotten or broken or are thrown away, they don't just fade away. They turn into this monstrous, twisted version of themselves. And Andy, of course, gets older and he stops playing with them. And maybe Woody and Buzz start to lead this violent rebel, crowd. And pretty much they're trying to do anything to ruin Andy's world because he threw them away and he discarded them as if they were trash. And, they just turn evil,
Wow, that's funny. I had Toy Story as well. I'm gonna swap it into my honorable mention. I'll give that concept I have. It's not the same concept though. That's the good
why
thing.
I didn't pick it because I knew it would be popular.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna pick something else. But since you didn't pick what I thought you would pick, I'm gonna swap that in, and then when we talk honorable mentions, I'll talk about my Toy Story concept. So, but yeah, I think that twist is even. I might throw that twist in what I was gonna put for Toy Story because you kind of gave me something that now. But yeah, that's that the tormenting him like just little things at a time, like just small things, walking around barefoot, tack on the ground. Like, what I mean?
I have to interject because there is a horror movie that you guys may not know about that is also about like small dolls wreaking havoc and killing people. Have you guys seen Puppet Master?
Mm-mm.
Mm. It's a deep cut horror movie, but it's good. It terrified me as a child.
Well, me being terrified was Toy Soldiers. Listen.
Oh yeah.
Now you think it ain't scary until you get to those dolls. See, it's not the army man and the aliens, them having that battle. When you get to the dolls, like the girl Barbie dolls, that's the scariest part of the movie. They're like, hey, will you take me out sometime? And they're doing just go see that scene, y'all, from Toy Soldiers. Like the girl doll, the Barbie dolls, when they mount up and all bring the kid down. I'm like, oh, this is scary for real, bro. Like, yeah, man, I had nightmares about that movie. That's a fact. But for me, number 3, swapping it around, I'm going with Mrs. Doubtfire.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mrs. Doubtfire, it is right there. I don't know if I think I sent that to you, or maybe me. I don't remember if I did or didn't, but there was a re-edit of the trailer.
Yeah, you did send it to me. And that's also why I didn't pick that one, because I was like, I feel like I kind of figured you would pick that one.
Well, see, that's why I had in my honorable mentions originally, but I didn't think nobody would pick Toy Story, so that's why I was mind blown. Ash picked that. I was like, oh. But Miss Doubtfire would easily be this. It's this man that goes undercover as a woman, and he would be this famous serial killer. Like, and nobody would really ever catch on because his acts are not consistent. Like what he does every time he is with, the kids and whatever kid, not his own kids, but he would just be this undercover. He would be this undercover character that is, taking people out quietly, but yet living a regular life. And Robin Williams could totally pull this off. Like we've seen him get busy. What was it? That 1 hour photo?
Oh yes.
Yeah, that 1 hour photo, man. Oh, absolutely. I was scared of it. Like I told you, man, like that back in the day, man, like when people always talk about like when people switch roles and do something and they be like, oh, you need to stick to this. I'm like, nah, bro, I believe them in this. Absolutely. Yeah, that's right there with the puppet bag. That's right there with the Family Matters, bro.
Hey, I'm telling you, that movie had me shook as a kid.
Man,
It's like turn people into the little dolls.
Mm.
Like, um,
bro, like just like Goosebumps. You remember Goosebumps? Like when
that was
the
my first introductions, little baby Mia into spooky season.
man, and Goosebumps, like when they turned the cousin, he turned into a doll when he walked off, and then his head spun backwards, and he was a doll, bro. I was like, oh my god, oh, like, bro, I don't know why I did this to myself. It was like, bro, it was the scariest stuff ever. Like, but Miss Doubtfire would definitely be like, it could definitely work as like some like serial killer. Like, I can totally see this being like, but it kind of switch it. Have to have like a lead police officer that has to investigate, because Miss Doubtfire never looks the same. It's got the brother that's doesn't know that that makes the faces, doesn't know. So all these years he thought his brother was just a voice actor, this and that, and you find out he's living a whole different life. Miss Doubtfire could have been on Dexter. You know what I mean? Like he could have tried to track down.
I was gonna say Dexter vibes. You're talking about.
Look, though, his brother didn't know, but then he sees a police sketch of one of the masks that he made his brother.
Yeah. Catching up, he's starting to put it together, and now his brother has to work with them to figure out how to get a confession, or it's there. Like Miss Doubtfire is just, it's total, because when we were talking about it, I think I thought about it then. Like I was like, yo, this idea is crazy, bro. This is crazy. So hell, you could, even if you want, it could, Miss Doubtfire could be a person that, the way they get away with all the time could be arson. It's in the name. Doubtfire. So it could be arson. It's always a different way of how these things happen in the house, to get lit on fire, whatever. So yeah, something like that.
Oh, I had another idea. See, this is my realm, right?
Yeah, burn the whole mask and everything in there. You know what I mean?
Think about a movie like The Stepdad, right? This could be also be like a revenge thriller where he's salty that he lost custody of his kids and that his ex-wife has got a little boyfriend. So now he's doing this to get revenge, and he's plotting to kill the new boyfriend and the mom. And anybody else who interferes with him trying to get his kids back.
Yeah.
Ways.
There's plenty of ways, yeah, but I think that Miss Doubtfire is such a layup. That's right there with the Willy Wonka. Like, it's already there. It's like, you just got to piece it up. All right. Any honorable mentions y'all got?
You took them.
Well, one honorable mention, How to Be a Player.
What?
Yeah. How to Be a Player. I think I don't have it fully drawn out, but I think there's something with all of these women involved and him. There's something there. There's a mystery. There's something there with the friend group. There's just something there for him where, he's being haunted, and it's like he think it's one woman. He can't pinpoint who's doing what and why is it happening, but he's still around them. And they're doing all of this, like piecing up all the women he's involved with on a little, board or whatever. He's trying to piece this person does this for a living. It could change the whole dynamic. He's still like dating them, but trying to pick out their tweaks. And the whole movie, we're trying to figure out which woman is the one that's doing these things in his life that is like really like brakes go out. Stuff is happening where he keeps missing death. And he can't, and he know these are crimes of passion. He can't figure out which woman is it that he's been involved with. He's not even involved with any of them. And now he's got to literally put the chart together of like 6 women, and he's got to figure out how to, and the movie would be a big twist. Like it could be something at the end. It was like, he thought it was them and it was his sister the whole time.
Because she hated his guts.
You know what I'm saying? So we're watching the whole movie like, yo, which woman is it? Because all of them seem cool, and then you see one tweak, you're like, oh, it's her. Then the other one do a little tweak different, like, you're like, oh, it's got to be her. And the whole movie, we like, dang, I don't know which one is it. And that could be literally, the film. So I could totally see that going.
They on their Lynn Whitfield vibes. Put your hands on the wrong woman.
Oh boy. Don't you know how much I love you?
Get rid of her.
Crash out.
Huh?
Justified crash out.
Yes. Yes.
He did. He
Absolutely.
played in her face.
Absolutely, bro. Crazy. Calling right after the smash. Like, it's crazy. Like, dog. Say I'm the man. Like, bro, relax, dude. Golly.
You say it. Like you didn't get there without saying it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We that movie's coming. Like, if we ever have a thriller rotation, that might get in there. Shout out to School because he hates that movie. But my big cuz over there at Culture Garden. Lastly, my other one was Toy Story, but my concept was going to be Sid's house.
Ooh,
yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, the whole thing would be Sid's house. The whole thing would start off like house. So Sid, we see Sid, and we're getting flashbacks of him being a normal kid, a regular kid, and then we see where he is, and we keep getting this the whole time, and we see how these toys go through it, and he manipulates and make these toys like they are. Eventually the toys, same as Toy Story, they're going to turn their back on him. But the twist in the whole movie that we never pick up is that Sid is Andy. That would be the twist. Like, at the end, like, we're getting flashbacks of him being a normal kid, and then we get flash forward, we're seeing Sid, but somehow I don't have the details, but Sid and Andy are the same kid. You know what I mean? And that's some I just, because I look at the drawing, the animation, I'm like, there's and I'm telling you, bro, it's there. Like, I just don't know how, but like, they're the same person, and so something like that. But and then toys turn their back on them or whatever, So, but something like that, that type of thing. And that's why I kind of picked up from what you were saying. Like, with Andy, I'm like, yo, how dope would it be if, like, we found out this whole time they were the same kid? There wasn't two houses. It was a psychological type of thing where they made us think one way, but it's something else.
The situation, like a split personality situation.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and
all right. So yeah, it's definitely that to me would be like just so good. We don't even see any of the normal Andy dolls. We only see the Sid dolls, but we see them when they were normal. We see every time he changes the doll, like when he blends them together, that would be a representation of his split personality. And also it would be, we got to see the dolls in the flashback when they were normal and he loved them, and then we get flash forward, we see the baby on the spider leg, robotic spider legs. We was like, yo, what is up with this kid? And we're trying to follow, like, and this is an animation movie. Sid's Place, come on.
Okay.
Come on, man. So I think that's it. Is there anything else in this content before we get out of here?
This was impeccable.
Fried. Excited. It was great time. Great time. It was definitely real work, but great time. So yeah, y'all submit to us, send us in the movies that y'all see that y'all can convert into a horror film, fit it in the horror genre as we get ready for October. With that being said, the next movie pick is on me. Struggled. I mean, I went to the wire. I went back and forth and back and forth. And one of the movies is a better movie, has a better plot, better just overall. It's just a better overall movie. The other movie's not so much. But I'm trying to think about how would this work and what type of episode could we produce based on the film. And so what I came up with, the movie I picked is not a good movie, but it's a movie that needs to be discussed. And so I decided to go with the 2001 film Bones.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
With the leading actor Snoop Doggy Dogg. Yes. Got to go with got to. Yeah, so I was back and forth and I almost switched to another film because it was this better film, and I was like, but I really was like going in trying to kind of watch some of it, skim through, kind of get the idea, looks review, kind of see everything. And I was like, okay, I see some things that I think how we do our show, we could bring some some interesting points, but some funny stuff in it. Obviously, it's got a lot of funniness to it. So, anything I want to say about the movie Bones?
This is so left field. I never in a million trillion years would have thought anybody would pick Bones. This movie is unhinged, ridiculous, but I'm not gonna say it's a guilty pleasure because I don't watch it. Like I haven't seen it in forever, but I did watch it quite a few times, like around the time that it came out. Also because Khalil Kain was like,
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Of
okay. Yeah, yeah,
course.
yeah. Of course. Yeah, okay.
but no, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be funny. But now
Hey,
I see where y'all like where because y'all don't take nothing serious.
no,
Or
it ain't. No, it ain't even that. Because the one the last minute pick I had was a lot more serious, and the one I originally had that I was fully set on was good until I kind of peeled back some layers, and I had to. I mean, we got a rule, like so. I was like, okay, I got to honor that rule, like so.
You'll have to tell me what it was, but
Yes, but if I tell you, that might be your pick.
no, because I don't have it yet.
Hmm. Okay. So, Ash, what you want to say about Bones?
um, definitely was not expecting that. I haven't seen Bones in a million years, and I definitely remember thinking it, as Mia put it, it was unhinged. It was crazy seeing Snoop. Like
Mm. Hey, I
I
was
just
scared as a
laughed
kid. Let me
thinking
be
about it.
clear. Like, let
No,
me be clear.
100%.
I was
There's
scared.
another
Like,
one. There's another one that's in this round with
I
another
know exactly. I
person.
know exactly what you're talking about.
So yeah,
You know what it is too, man.
What?
Another movie in the black genre that people don't take serious either. It's only two of these.
absolutely.
It's
They're
only
like the
two of these.
same
It's the
movie, really.
same thing where somebody that never plays this ever in life plays this lead villain, and people don't take it serious either.
But I
I ain't
don't
go.
know what you're talking about.
Okay, Ash, are you gonna pick that movie?
No,
Okay, then I'll just say it. Vampire in Brooklyn.
But see, I don't consider that an actual horror movie. I always consider that more of a comedy horror.
Is it meant to be comedy?
I think it was meant to be comedy, but like, okay, don't get me wrong, because that is my movie. I love that movie. It does have a great horror element in it. Like he did it well for it to be what it was, but I've always thought that movie was more of a comedy.
Hmm. I haven't seen it in. I don't even think I've ever seen it all the way through. So
Really? That's crazy. I've seen it a billion times. But like I've always
I was
thought
scared of Eddie, man. Like I mean, I was. That might be a TGIF just talking about people that scared us switching genres or something like. Because I mean,
if
LL
you
Cool
watch
J.
it as an adult, you'll see that it's much more funny than
Mm.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about Bones. Like I said, I was getting an early start on it because the way we record TGIFs, it's a closer proximity of notes in the time frame of recording. So I kind of was getting into it, and I will say, and I'll leave it there because I say it before I review. It does have a solid story. Like I think they were trying to take it serious, like for the genre. I will say that it didn't quite do that, but I think they were. But when we watch it, all of us, I'm sure we'll see where, okay, I see what y'all were trying to do. Like, so, but it was something, what kind of concluded my pick on it was just, I was kind of skimming through some pods, just kind of seeing, and I seen a lot of people that didn't look like us talking about the movie. And I was like, okay, I was like, then I got to, like, just off that alone, I'm like, because you would think, like Mia said, like, who's talking about this movie, who's gonna pick it up? And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. But trust me, Mia, when I tell you, I was looking at films. Like I wasn't trying to be joking or funny, and I was looking at films. But again, the hard part about them is how does it fit within our structure, and that's the part of it where I was like, I can watch this. I'll enjoy to watch. I'll be spooked and scared about it. I talk about my experience, but can we get, really, do the childish grown up style that we do within that, and that's kind of what helped me lean more towards this movie. But the other movie, I'm going to end up picking it because I brought it up too many times, and I got to pick it. Like so, but I'm not. I didn't pick it on this one. So
That's why I like when I did the Halloween episodes, with with our big cousins over at the Culture Garden. Like the first one that I did, I think was so good. Um,
Or Candyman?
yes, because it's such a weighty movie. Like it's a horror movie for sure,
Mm,
1000%, but it has so many undertones of
mm,
other subjects, which
mm,
is what I love about a lot of horror films. So I'm trying to find something
mm-hmm,
in that same vein.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to really figure out how to structure this when we do it on our next episode because I want to structure it in a way that helps us cover it all, but not have to follow everything, I guess.
Right.
So I'm excited. So that's the pick, y'all. So y'all have heard it here. Y'all know what to do. Go check that out. I'm sure you can find it in tons of places, but go check it out. 2001 film Bones, a horror film. In a could we consider it black horror hood film? Maybe. I don't know. But that's it. Ladies, anything else y'all want to lead the people before we get out of here?
This was a fun episode, and I don't know what I'm gonna pick. I haven't even thought about it yet. Just tried to get through my TGIF. So yeah, I got some thinking to do.
I'm excited, y'all. Have a good weekend.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all know what time it is. We're getting ready to get our buckets ready, get our costumes ready. About to go get this candy. You know what I'm saying? Check through the candy because you never know what's out there, like they tell us. So check through the candy, and then after that, we about to get fat off this Reese's and little fun-sized Musketeers and all that. You know what I'm saying? The Twizzlers. You know, give me all that. I need all that. Don't put no apples in my bucket. You know what I'm saying? We go trick or treating. Ain't no apples in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all. We'll holler at y'all. Peace out.